everyone. So, I wasn't going to bring astrology in here, but we have so many things going on this week, and for the next couple of weeks that was, it just seemed better to do it. So, welcome everyone, because this is all about forward movement, growth, and clarity, and you know I'm about that. So, if I can bring that to you, yep, that's what I'm doing. So, welcome everyone. My name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, hypnotherapy, and mediumship, spiritual advising to help you on your path. And now the author of my upcoming book series, Concepts Create Reality. So before I get on with the spread, we have like these big aspects again. I mean, we already had like this lunar and the solar eclipse, but we've got, because the planets are always moving, but we've got like Mars moving, we've got Mercury going direct, and we have this big full moon in Pisces. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So let's talk about Mars movement. So Mars is going to move into Virgo, and it'll be there for about 6 weeks, which means wherever Mars was on your chart is now moving into a different house, right? So you're going to have movement, and you know, Mars is about energy, and Mars gives you that oomph. And I mean, a lot of people like to talk about Mars being war, but Mars is about giving you all that energy and that like oomph to do things, and that inspiration and that drive and that ambition to do things, right? So with it going into Virgo, it's going to make you like, because Virgo likes to organize and put their efforts into what's going to be, I don't know, worth their time, I guess. So, like, they're going to get gains out of it, right? So, with Mars going into Virgo, that's what you're going to be thinking, or that's the way you're going to be feeling. Like, I'm going to put effort in if it's worth it to me, if it's going to bring me gains. And that's okay. I mean, you should do that, right? Sometimes we need to do that. But it's going to be in different houses for different signs. So I'm going to go over that in each sign. But then we have Mercury going direct. And Mercury is going, it's moving to that, and it's going direct or station. So it'll be, so I'm sorry, Mars you'll feel for about 6 weeks. Mercury you're going to feel for about a week and a half, and it's going direct right on the point where we had the solar eclipse, right on that point. So it's like oomph. It's like a lot of all these things that have been delayed, and this miscommunication, and these things that you have been like working through, tweaking on. If you've been doing the work, like when it goes direct, it's just going to all of a sudden give you resolution to those things, right? So, and it'll give you, so all these delays, it'll give you with your everyday that lower, I mean, I call it the conscious mind, but some people call it the lower mind. You know, there's the subconscious and the conscious mind. So all of that will start getting resolved. Those things, those things of where Mercury was like retrograde in your house, it's going to go direct, and those things are going to start resolving. Even if you've put a little work into it, if you've been tweaking, like I said, to do during retrograde, you're going to feel like the difference where all of a sudden things just start moving forward, right? And so you'll feel the effects of that for like a week and a half, week and a half. And then you have Mars going into, you know, the next house, which is probably going into the house where your Mercury was retrograde for each one of you, or each one of us. And so you're getting like all this forced forward movement, right? Now, the other thing too is this full moon in Pisces. So what does that mean? So Pisces already is like a very intuitive, psychic, hidden realm kind of thing, and with this full moon, which is new beginnings, right? Is it's also got Neptune in there. So the full moon is on Pisces, and then it has Neptune. So wherever that falls in your house, you're talking about like miracles and manifestations and magical stuff coming to you without any effort. Like, this stuff is already going to be given to you. This is on your path. So depending on which house it is, you should start like getting these things coming from nowhere, like coming from the air. Like all of a sudden you get these things, right? So it kind of depends on which house it falls in for you. But the Pisces is about connecting to your higher self and connecting to spirit, connecting to oneness. The only thing is when you get this full moon stuff, it has to come from your heart. Now, when I say your heart, there's a lot of people that love from their second chakra. Now, and I'm talking about your fourth chakra, for it to come from your fourth chakra. Now, I haven't talked a lot about chakras here, but, I'll do that on my website. The second chakra, when you love from the second chakra, that's about attachment and greed and fear and loss. Like when you're loving somebody from fear because you're afraid that you're going to lose them, or because when you love somebody because you're like, well, they're mine, that's attachment. That's second chakra love. I'm talking about anything that you do in this full moon. If it's from your fourth chakra, if it's from unconditional love, it is just going to blossom. It has to come from your heart if you get inspired to do these things, okay? Because if it comes from the other, then there's going to be ramifications. Unfortunately, this is how we decided to live on this earth, with duality, okay? So, but the great thing is this full moon is just going to be bringing all these things in different people's houses. So, on to I hope I explained everything. For each sign, I'm going to do each house, and I'll explain the houses and then how you'll be able to receive them, and then we'll do the love area. So, see you in a minute. Hello, my Saggies, how are you? So I want to say, I've been trying to kind of wait to see if I could do this video because I've had nothing but noise outside. We have like the tree people here and the gardeners and all that kind of stuff. So if there's noise during that, I apologize if you can hear it, but I need to like get all these done, and I don't want to rush doing them. So if you're watching the Sag video and you're not a Saggy, I just want to let everybody know I won't be bringing out the daily today because I have to get these 4 videos up. So, all right, so my Saggies, let's talk about what's going on with the full moon and Mars and Mercury retrograde. And let me tell you, I've been in my Saggy side for like, I don't even know, like 3 weeks. it's not. Try being in your, well, look, I'm talking to Saggies. Being in my Saggy side during Mercury retrograde may not be such a good thing. I had to really like center myself because I kept trying to drop some truth bombs on people, and I was like, ooh. And I'm talking about it in my personal life. I was like, I had to like center and get back into that Aquarian and Gemini side too. Like I had to like really balance. So, I mean, when I'm channeling and I'm channeling spirit and I'm centered, and that's different. But when I'm in my personal life and I'm feeling that Saggy, which is needed. I mean, I'm in that space for a reason. But I had, there's a way that we could drop truth bombs, and there's a way that we could like soften it. So as I've gotten older, I've learned how to do that. But trust me, sometimes it just wants to come out all unfiltered and stuff. And especially during Mercury retrograde, where you're like, oops. But that's Saggy, right? Because we just kind of laugh at it. I mean, I know it's not that funny, but it is kind of funny. Nobody's going to understand but Saggies. Anyway, so my beautiful ones, let's get started. So for you, my gorgeous ones, first we'll talk about the houses, and then I'll talk about the spread. The full moon in Pisces, which is tonight. This is September 6, 2017, but this is for September. But September tonight is the full moon in Pisces. And like I talked about, Pisces, it's going to be in your 4th house. And so your 4th house, that's where your gifts are going to be coming through. That's where, and remember, this full moon means no effort, no energy needed. It was on your path to begin with. It was the way that you wanted to experience things. So these gifts come to you so that you can experience these things, right? And this is all positive. So, let's talk about what the 4th house is. So the 4th house is your soul. It's your I connect, right? And it's ruled by Cancer, usually. I mean, that's its ruler. So the 4th house is about your home. Like your home is where your heart is, right? But it's also your ancestry, your lineage, where you came from. And this is like really important, I think, for the whole group, because I keep saying this ancestry thing. They keep having me say this because when you get these gifts from nowhere, it's not like you had to work for it, but they don't want you to feel guilty about it either, because you're part of your lineage. It's part of what they came here to do. Like, so your lineage, even like, even in this life, if you don't want to talk about past lives, but even in this life, maybe, your lineage, uh, great grandparents or grandparents, like, you inherit things or you get things, and it's just part of your DNA. It's part of who you are, and they love you and they want to give it to you. That's the same way that this would be coming through. It's like spirit, your connection, oneness, your soul group from before this lifetime, from life between life, from after this lifetime. Maybe their purpose was to come here in this life, like maybe the ancient one, maybe an ancient one, or it's not just one, it's like a lot of your ancient DNA, ancient ancestry came in, and their purpose was to experience these things and expand their soul. But their purpose wasn't to reap the benefits financially or physically. Their purpose was to grow their soul in a different way. So that was their path. And so in doing so, they put these like reserves in the bank, right? So energy reserves in the bank, or energy gifts in the bank. And then you come along and your purpose is to retrieve some of these gifts, because it's part of the whole. It's helping the whole understand how to experience these things. So it's your path to experience these things with the gifts, right? That's kind of where that can come from. So, I mean, you can even think about it from like, your great grandparents. Maybe they were like, I'm saving this money so that my great grandchildren one day can have a better life, like that, right? And so when you receive that, they don't want you to like feel guilt about it. They want you to understand it's because of, it's out of love. They love you, and it's yours to have from nowhere, just because they love you. It's just it, because it's part of who you are. Okay, so in the fourth house, so the fourth house is about your mother, your family. It could be your mythology of your life, again, your ancestry, your home. And it's where you understand home is where your heart is, right? So that's kind of balancing in that house. So with the full moon in your fourth house, you have positive things coming through because of the full moon in Pisces. And Pisceans know how to like manifest without effort. So this is no effort. You don't have to put any energy in it. This was already on your path. So you could be receiving gifts from family, home, property, in your personal life. Just things will be coming to you out of nowhere, right? The thing also is, because it's in your fourth house, you may feel a bit more connected to your lineage, to your ancestry, to your home, to your family, to your higher self, to spirit, to that, because Pisces has that connection between this world and other worlds. They have like an easy connection to that. So you may feel a little bit more emotional during this time than most will. Well, I won't say than most will feel, because they feel it, they just feel it in a different way. Saggies feel a lot. They just know how to direct their attention in a different way, and they can almost do what Aquarians do, where they can detach a little bit from the feeling, right? But they still feel, so they can't do the complete detachment like Aquarians can do, but they can navigate a little bit better in that emotion. So when a flood of emotions, or when they have that connection, it could be really overwhelming and emotional. So you may be having that also in this house. Okay, so Mercury went direct yesterday in your 10th house. I love the 10th house. The 10th house is about your persona, your career, your purpose, your life purpose, how you're out in the world, the way the public sees you. It's a public image and your purpose, right? So Mercury was retrograde in your 10th house. So I know Saggies, and especially since I've been in my Saggy side, it's really interesting that during retrograde, if you've been doing like the work on your purpose and work on yourself and work on your image and work on your, things like that, if you've been doing all the administrative stuff about it, the like the documents and all the stuff that Saggies don't really like to do, but they can do. If you've been working on that, like maybe you're writing a book, maybe you're drawing, maybe you're an artist and you're drawing, right? So if you've been working on that, you didn't start any new projects, but you were working on, like during retrograde, you're like, all right, Cindy, I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna like tweak things, right? If you've been doing that, which I kind of have a feeling that you have, then as Mercury has gone direct, all these things are going to flourish. They're just going to start like booming forward. Okay, so they'll start getting resolved. You'll start getting manifestations of this. They'll start moving forward. Things will be easier for you. And so you should feel that for the next 10 days, 1.5, 2 weeks, like that. Okay, so you should feel that like the next 10 days where it's just unfolding for you and things are easier for you and you're able to do things better and you're able to think better and a little bit more directed. Okay, so that's Mercury going direct in your 10th house. But Mars comes in there too in your 10th house. Mars is going to give you that energy to push forward, not just push forward. It's like, it's just giving you this ease of all this energy in your purpose, in your career, in your public life, in your persona, in your documents, and all of that. Okay, so Mars gives you that energy. Mars likes to give you the ambition and the drive and the gumption. That's a word I hadn't used, and I was saying umph, and I didn't really like that word, but that's the only thing I could think of at the time. So the gumption. Okay, so you should start feeling relief in that, right? So you're going to get extra energy with your career and your creative ideas. I will caution you, like I was saying before, because Mars is in this 10th house. Be careful when you're working in your, because it's giving you energy, right? And so the lower or negative, I guess you can say negative, the lower, lesser evolved vibration of Mars likes war. Okay, so even though you think you're right, Saggy, because you might be, because I don't see it as right and wrong, but even though from your perception, when you are dealing with authority figures or you are dealing with, you know, the public, or you're dealing with that, even if you feel you're valid in what you're saying, soften the blow, okay? Because Mars being in there can be really direct and go to war. And listen, we all know you're smart. I know you're smart. I have a Saggy in me. I know you're smart. I know you're brilliant. So it doesn't, you have to like look at the fact and stay balanced and say, all right, does this really matter? You know, if they think they're right and it's not hurting anybody, or maybe if, you know, if they are hurting somebody, then, well, yeah, stand up for what you know. But if, and even then, say it with a softened blow. I'm telling you, I've had to learn to do that over my life. When I was younger, it was like truth bomb, truth bomb, truth bomb. And then I'd be like, why did I say it that way? Why did I didn't want to hurt their feelings, you know, but I was just saying it the way that because we were unfiltered like that. So we have no filter sometimes. So put a filter on it, back down a little bit, and really, really, that's the only thing I caution you to do with this Mars energy in here. And you'll be feeling that for 6 weeks. Okay. Now I've already been feeling this for a minute. So, and I know that it depends on your cycle of, you know, where you are in life. So if you're in your 20s, you may not be as, this may be your training part of how to do this better. If you're in your 30s, you're a little bit better. If you're in your 40s, you're even better, right? So as we go through our life cycles, we learn how to speak to people. We learn how to, and not just speak to people, but the intention as well. We learn how to like soften the blow and say, all right, my ego may have been involved. Let me just back it down a little bit, okay? Because does it really matter if I'm right or wrong right now? Like it really, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. So just think about those things when people come at you, because you may feel like, is this person trying to like set me off? Right? And when they do that, just take a breather. Just breathe, listen to them, do that smiling face that you do, smile at them and think about what they're saying. And then maybe in a little bit, you can go back and say what you need to say, but just sort of like think about it for a minute, okay? Because it could be all that Mars energy in there. That's my advice. All right. So let's get to your, let me say this. If you start new projects now in this 10th house, so you're with your career, in your businesses, in your life purpose, all of that, if you start this right now because Mars is in there and Mercury is going direct, if you start new projects, it's going to flourish. It's going to go somewhere. So do it. Do it, Saddies. Do it. Do it. Okay? All right. So let's get to your love reading. This is going to be your love reading for September 2017. Now, for those of you that have never seen me, from my understanding, from what I know, love is that energy that moves through all vibrations. Okay, so When I'm talking about love, I could be talking about your romance, your family, your friends, your things, because we have relationships with those. And it can be more than one thing that I'm talking about for you. You'll know it's true because it will resonate with you. Okay. I always say that. I haven't said that in a little bit on this channel, on my main channel. That used to be like a common thing, but I haven't said that in a while. You'll always know whether it's for you because it will resonate. It'll almost feel like, yeah, that's true because I remember it, but I didn't know I remembered it until I heard it. That's what resonation means. Okay, it's like this understanding and it coming to a knowing. You just need to be reminded. That's all. All right. So in your first position, look at you. See, this is what I was talking about. So your first position is the Three of Coins, which is the Three of Pentacles. This is you right now, working intently with details on these projects, on these things in your life, in this love area if you have a love interest, in this love area if you have a lifetime partner or a partner of a long time. You've been really looking at the details, really doing the work, really trying to figure it out, really, like even as your family and your friends, wherever your love is, it looks like this is you intently working, really focused, really fine-tuning. And that's a great space to be in because always the coins or the pentacles or the disc, however you want to call it, this means physical manifestations. This means physical stuff that's going to come through for you as you intently work on it. Okay, so congratulations. I kind of felt that with y'all. So what's crossing you is Spirit's advice in this situation, and that's the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands tells me, when we get to this space where we're like, I see what I want and it's right over there, but I have these responsibilities, so I'm kind of waiting for the perfect opportunity to do that, right? That's this card. And so what they're saying is, as you intently work on it, trust that we know where you want to go. We've heard you. And that is coming to you, and you are moving towards that as you work this out. And when you do, you'll find the perfect opportunity to get on this ship, to have those manifestations come in. They want you to know how close it is. See how close it is? It's like, I can get to that if I really jumped hard, but maybe if it got a little closer, or maybe if I leaned towards it some more, maybe it would be a little bit easier for me to get on the ship, right? So that's what they're saying. They're saying it's close. It's like it's unfolding. It's what I call unfolding. It's unfolding for you. It's coming to you, and you're going towards it. Just continue to stay focused on what you're doing because you have a lot of things coming, okay? That's their advice. So in the love area, this is where you came from, and I don't feel like this is just romantic. I know the Lover's card, a lot of people like to say it's romance, and I agree. It's a karmic card to me. It's a 50-50 card to me. But it's not just the lovers. It's not just romantic. So you have been dealing with these karmic lessons or these life lessons that you're with someone else or with situations because you've been growing your soul in this, okay? So where you've come from is what I'm feeling is you're finished the lesson because it's in your recent past, is you're finishing up the lesson. And then remember, this is a 50-50 card to me because after the lesson, you have 50% and they have 50%, whether to choose to stay or go in the relationship once you've learned your lesson or once you've experienced the lesson or once you've grown from the lesson, okay? So that's why I call it a karmic 50-50 card, but it looks like a lot of you have been experiencing this growth. A lot of you have been experiencing, like, it could be romance where this person came in and, they opened up your heart and they taught you a lesson and you taught them a lesson, or you taught them the experience and they taught you the experience. And then, you're kind of at a place like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And so you're sort of working on it. For others of you, it could be business partners. It could be your actual businesses. It could be because of this 10th house and the 4th house, it could be like, what am I learning? Where am I going? And I've learned this lesson. Now, where do I go next? Or do I stay with this, or do I let it go? Or what do I do? Right? And so it looks like you've been dealing with that. And now you've come to a place where you're sort of directed. And you're like, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm really, really clear with this person or the situation or these relationships. And I'm going to work intently on these sort of things, but I'm going to let go of these other things. And with that, Spirit is saying, yes, you're almost there. It's coming and you're going towards it. Okay? And soon will be the perfect opportunity for you to get on that ship. Make sense? Now, in your fourth position, this is someone coming into your life. And for some of you, this is actually you. But for some of you, this is someone coming into your life. In the first 2 weeks of September, we have the King of Wands. Now, this is you, Saggies. And the king, to me, doesn't necessarily mean it's male, female. It just means they're either a Leo, a Sag, or an Aries. I feel Aries, and I do feel a little Saggy. Well, I feel all three. I feel a lot of Leo, though. Yeah. You know what? I'm feeling like a little bit more Aries than Leo. That's what I'm feeling. Just a little bit more. Okay, so this person, obviously, you know, he's a king. So he's balanced in his passion, in his drive, in his ambition, in what he wants. He knows how to get what he wants. Excuse me. And he knows how to have fun and be serious when necessary. So he knows how to like turn his direction from one thing to the next. He knows how to work really hard and play really hard, or work really hard and rest. Like, he knows how to do this in balance. But whatever he wants, he gets, because he's very passionate and has a lot of ambition. And he does not take no for an answer. He's like, I don't care if you said no. I'm doing it anyway, because this is what I want to do. Because this is what I know to be true. That's you, Saggy. For some of you, that's this person coming in. For some of you, and let me say this, if this is a romantic person, because I see it in romance, I see it in your businesses, I see it in your 10th house too. If this person in your romance comes in, he has no problem opening up his heart and telling you how he feels. He has no problem in that. If somebody comes into your life, because you may have a couple of people come into your life, if someone comes into your life and he can't tell you how he feels, like he's afraid or he has those issues, that's not this king. This king has no problem saying it, okay? He could be a knight if he has an issue saying it, okay? Yeah, and he goes after what he wants. So for others of you, this is going to be you in the next 2 weeks. Well, let me say this for the business partner. This business partner, if he comes in, or this life purpose partner, if he comes in, because you know what, Saggies, I'm feeling like this partner could come in through a business deal or through your life purpose and then becomes romantic. Ooh, yep, sure do feel that for some of you. Okay, for others of you, and this is like he or she, this is male or female to me, okay? So if you're male, Saggy, and you're listening to this, could be a female too. Oh, if it's a female for you, you got another thing coming. She's going to rock your world. Okay, so, yeah, because she is not afraid. She's not. All right, so if it's your business partner, or if it's a business partner or somebody that comes and helps you in your business or your life purpose or your persona or any of that, this person has drive and ambition, and they're going to take your concepts or your thoughts or your things or your proposals or the things that you're thinking about for your life purpose and how to do this and all of that, and they're going to be able to get it going, because they don't fail at what they do. None of you fire signs fail at what you want. You just have to want it, okay? And now, Sadie, you're directed enough that you want it. And this is where you needed to be. And that's where I'm going to go to when I say this is you. You have such drive, such balance, such ambition, such passion for what you want, what you know to be true right now, that you are not going to fail. I promise you, I know this to be true in my like bones. This is what they're telling me. You are not going to fail. It may look bleak. Things may have not gone right. I know this. I can feel this for you guys, but they are telling me, Spirit is like saying, tell them this is it. It may not even look like you're going to get anything, and you're going to get it because you've been driven, because you've been focused, because you have ambition, and because it's come from your heart. I always say this, if your heart, mind, and soul desire it, then it is for you. You just have to create it, and then Spirit will help you. Your higher selves will help you. You have loved ones on the other side that will help you. You have your angels that will help you. And sometimes it looks bleakest or darkest right before that sun shines. Okay? That's what they want you to know in the first 2 weeks. Ooh, good Lord. They're being really passionate with you guys. All right. So, in your fifth position from your higher self, I always ask your higher self, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward in love? This is really, really interesting because I haven't gotten this way. they're telling me, your higher selves are telling me, there is nothing as driven as you are in love, in life, in your family, in the way that you want to do things. You will not have to compromise. The hanging man is self-sacrifice, okay? That's what the hanging man is. But I'm not seeing them as saying that you need to self-sacrifice. I'm seeing this as them saying, and they are saying, you will not have to compromise with anything that you do from this point, because you are so clear and you are so driven, and you are going to create it in a way that you don't have to compromise. And we are going to be here helping you, because you made yourself a Saggy for a reason. You made yourself not want to compromise in ethics, right? In ethics and certain things. And you won't have to do that doing your purpose. Not doing your purpose, you might, but doing your purpose, you will not have to compromise, okay? For others of you, they are saying this self-sacrifice is over. You don't have to do this anymore. You can if you want, but you don't have to be in this anymore. You've done this. You've mastered this. That was your lesson. You learned self-sacrifice. This is for some of you. Now you don't have to do this anymore, because remember, this hanging man, it's self-sacrifice. This hanging man, you see how he's on his tippy toes? He can get out of this anytime. And that's what they're saying. You're going to be moving from this into this other space. But you can stay here if you want, or you can move and come on with us. All right? That's what your higher selves are saying. Now, your life is going to change, and I mean a big change, because not only do I feel it here, but I feel it here too. But your life is going to change, and you, at the second half of September, I'm seeing where some of you can get overwhelmed because it has changed so much and there's so much coming at you, right? So remember, when you get in this state, don't get overwhelmed. Just remember to do it like you're doing it now, one thing at a time. Because as much as this is a feeling card, as much as you feel like it's overwhelming, and maybe all these things are coming in at once, and maybe all these lessons that you've learned, and maybe these people are like, it's just a lot of stuff. And so you start feeling like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like, I gotta like stay centered, and I'm doing my work, and so you can get overwhelmed. And as much as you see that these look like swords that are gonna hurt you, at the end of them, they're light. These are experiences, and you can just take them one at a time. So do one thing and get that, and do the next thing and get that, and do the next thing. One at a time, Sadie, one at a time, okay? Because you can always change this energy and turn it upside down and be directed, okay? You can change that. That's the second half of the month. Now, in your 7th position, this is your hopes and, this is your fear. So your fear is, will I ever be able to be in a space where I can do not only what I want, but what I feel, and be happier? Like, will I ever get to that point of 0 point energy where I just know that my life is going to expand? Will I ever be at that point? For others of you, it's like, will I ever be free of these past things so that I can move forward into this new energy? Remember, that's just a fear. A fear is there to remind you of what you want and what you don't want. You already know what you don't want. You've already lived that. Some of you have mastered it. So now focus on what you want. Stay in that. Call that in. Be that, and know it, and it's yours, okay? Remember that. Now, in your 8th position, this is the way a loved one will be viewing you and dealing with you. You have the Page of Cups, so you have news coming from a new loved one, or from a loved one, or from someone that's because I'm talking about romance, that you have been in a long-time partnership with. They're going to be bringing you some news that's on an emotional level. Now, that emotion is a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So if this is a new person, it's news coming in, and they can be here or they can be here, because you have this Queen of Cups here too. So whatever this is going to cause you to get into your emotions. And I think that's part of your growth right now, is to learn how to actually navigate through those emotions and being engaged with people and understanding not everybody's out to hurt you, not everybody's unethical, and some people really do just love you because they love you. Not because you owe them anything, not because they're looking for anything, but because they love you. Because they like being around you, because they want to grow something with you. Okay? So, you have news coming. For your ninth position, this is your hopes and dreams, this position, but I call it the outer realm of the energy that you're bringing in, being on this line. You have the Death card, so that's all about transformation for me. Your lives are transforming. I'm telling you, some of you are going to be like, wow, this really did just happen to me. I've said that to like a couple of signs, but I'm feeling that a lot for this group. I don't know, we have like a lot of new people, but this group is like really under transformation. And you guys are part of that. And this has to do, again, with not just your 10th house and your 4th house. It has to do with a lot of your houses. It has to do with yourself on the whole. You actually getting what you want. You coming through so freaking much that it's time. It's just time for you to transform. It's time for the unfolding of all these things to come through for you. And that's the energy that's being pulled in here. So congratulations. Out with the old, in with the new, right? Now, in your 10th position, this is the overall outcome of what you'll be working through in the month of September. You have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen, or the King to me, means it's that sign. The Queen to me means they have that characteristic of those signs, okay? So, but this Queen is she's a interesting Queen because she holds the cup and she's in water. So she has this talent of being able to reflect. Not just reflect, but mirror. Well, I guess the same thing. But so she has this way innately. She doesn't do it on purpose. She just knows because she has been through the depths of emotion and she has come back a queen. She has come back understanding emotions. So she knows how to navigate in them, right? And so what she can do is when she appears before someone, she can be what they're wanting and needing, okay? Like automatically, not consciously trying to be something that somebody wants you to be. This is just an automatic, let's match up together, and what you're wanting and needing is what I am. That's kind of like that. So this person is coming in for you. For some of you, that is romance. For others of you, it is a business partner. For others of you, it's not even just a partner. Some of you, it's like somebody that comes and helps you too. For others of you, it's family. For others of you, it's siblings. This person is coming. You'll be dealing with them in the month of September, where they're exactly what you're wanting and needing for this phase of your life to help you progress forward. That, some of you, is that romance that's been like trying to come in, because I feel it with this. But it could be this person being this for you, being emotionally open, being emotionally available, being, and like I said, yeah, it makes sense because remember I told you, this person is not afraid to say what they feel. They're just not. So for others of you, if it's two different people that I'm talking about, because you may have like this one person that comes in and this one person that you're dealing with, you know, that you haven't let go of, or that you're still trying to figure out what that is, it's going to be lighter, better. You're going to be able to deal with it. And this person is going to be like your new person. But this could be a business partner and this could be your lover. Or this could be your lover and a business partner and this could be your lover. This could be a sibling. So it kind of all depends on your life cycle and your chart and what's going on in your life. But I feel like either way, this person's very... so they're saying this person comes from unconditional love for you. That's what they want you to know. Okay? All right, my gorgeous ones. Thank you so very much for liking, sharing, subscribing. We are like, it's crazy. We're at 11,600 right now. And that's in 5.5 weeks. That's just crazy. So I couldn't do this without you. I couldn't do my purpose without you. I am so humbled and honored to be able to share energy, that you allow me to share energy and do my purpose. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.